just came to play for the money. On 7 good ponies and some damn good swing. So get your team together, get fired up. So I can have a chop at you at the Inverell Swan Cup.
Hi everyone, welcome to the 18th Swan Cup video podcast. My name is Wrobel from the Inverell Polocrosse Club, and we've sadly had to cancel our 2021 Swan Cup men's competition. However, our sale will still go online and we will provide further details in the podcast. I'm here with club member Cameron Neville. How are you going, Cameron?
I'm great, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Pretty devastated. We've got everything sorted. We put in all the effort over the last 12 months, doing a lot of jobs, getting everything organised. Then COVID had a bit of a flare up. We jumped through a fair few hoops to keep running in the last week or so. And then the heavens opened up on Thursday night, and we'd already had a fair bit of rain in the lead up. And there's a fair bit more forecast for next week. And I was out there on Thursday morning before the rain came in, and it was reasonably slippery and slidey in there, from a horse welfare perspective, from trying to get people in there in their trucks, trying to, have a decent event. It was just in the best interest of the Inverell Polocrosse Club to cancel the competition, cancel the live sale, and move everything to that online format. So we'll go into a few more details in a minute, and I'll probably throw a few questions at you so that we can help everyone understand where to now. Like, what are we doing next? Okay, so what are our plans and what are we doing in 2021, Cameron?
Yeah, mate. Well, obviously that the club and everything have put a lot of effort into trying to run, and it's not because we didn't want to run or we didn't look at other different ways of doing it, or postponing it, or running it somewhere else, or trying to make it happen. It purely come down to we're trying to align a sale with a stock horse association with a polocrosse calendar, and it just got to a point where the weather got that bad that we're going to have the best horses in the country playing on our fields. And if one of them had got hurt, it would have done us a lot more harm than good going forward with this whole Swan Cup process. So, yeah, devastating news that we've had to call it off. And I understand a lot of people have booked motel rooms, started to even travel. I had to turn Sarah Grills around and tell her to go back home. And I know you've had to do the same to a few people and different things. But to go forward, mate, we're having our sale. That is definitely going ahead. It's on AuctionsPlus, which is an internet platform. And all the lots will be visible on AuctionsPlus. And you do that if you're having any troubles getting through that, you just talk to Darby Smith at Nutrien at Tamworth. She'll help anyone get through it. She'll even bid on horses for them if they want to. She'll upload photos and videos for the vendors if they need help to get onto AuctionsPlus. She's been a great help from the start, and Mark Witherden and Mark Barton, they're all just on board with making this work now that it's a AuctionsPlus only system. So with that, we're definitely having our sale, and that's on Sunday, and on the 11th of July, and the sale will commence at 9 o'clock. Now, it won't go all day, and it won't go for 2 days or 3 days or 5 days. It'll be an hour-long sale until the time frame kicks in, meaning we'll get to 10 o'clock, and then if no one's bidding, the sale will close. If we get to 10 o'clock and people are still bidding, it'll 30 seconds until we close, 20 seconds until we close, 10 seconds until we close. That's how the auction works. And sometimes they can take up to 2 hours maximum. But, people who are going to want to buy a horse, to realise what you've got to do, the sale can go up to 2 hours.
Yeah, but people can put in like a maximum bid, can't they? Like they can say, oh, I want to spend $15,000 is the maximum on this horse, and they can put that in. And then, if someone else puts in, if the current bid's $9,000 and they put in their 15, it'll go to 10. And then if someone else goes 11, it'll go to 13 for them. And then if someone else goes 14, then it goes to 15, and then it'll outdo them. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so the AuctionsPlus, the way it'll happen, once you log in and you click on the AuctionsPlus sale that opens up on Sunday, all 40 lots will be displayed across your screen. So you'll get from lot 1 to lot 40. We have lost lot 9 and lost lot 15. They've been withdrawn from the sale. But you'll be able to see lot 1 and lot 40 all at the same time. Now, as far as I'm aware, and talking to Mark Barton about it, every horse will have a startup price of $4,000. That will be the minimum bid. Then it is up to the vendor to talk to Nutrien and to Darby and to Mark to nominate their own reserve. So if they want to reserve a horse at $20,000 or they want to reserve a horse at $4,000, that'll be up to their discretion to display with Nutrien. Inverell Polocrosse Club has nothing to do with people's reserves. Alex Wrobel or myself, I don't want to know anyone else's reserve, and I don't want them to know the reserve of my horse until the sale comes on.
Yeah.
So with that, it's a level playing field. Every horse will start at $4,000 minimum, and work up from there. The vendors have their own reserve, and then it's a click of a button and go up in $1,000 rise. So if you want to buy a horse, you click on it, $4,000. It highlights the lot as your lot, and self-explanatory. Like as you're getting closer to the reserves, I'm pretty sure it says near reserve, and it starts to flash. Then when your horse actually hits their reserve and gets on the market, it says that. It says on the market, and it turns blue in front of you. So you can see it going on in front of you. You can see what lot 1's making. You can see what lot 40's making. You can see every single lot, if they're on the market, if they're close to it, or if they're nowhere near it. And yes, you can, if you want to sit down and you want to nominate a maximum bid that I'm prepared to go to on a particular lot, you can do that. But if you're going to do that, I'd suggest that you talk to Darby at Nutrien and just make sure you get it right and you're 100% comfortable with what you're doing. And now that we're not having the sale at Inverell and all these horses aren't in one spot, now the thing that's got to happen is if you buy a horse, it's up to the purchaser to get that horse to wherever. So if I buy a horse off Berragoon at Albury and want to get it to Inverell, it's up to me to talk to Sarah Grills or Charlie or Jimmy or Lucy and work out a way we can get it back. And if I pay the freight, that's my cost. As the purchaser, that is your cost. So if I buy a horse off Justin Hafey and want to get it back to Inverell, it's my cost, and I've got to organise that. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm sure excited about trying to buy a horse off one of them and getting them home.
Yeah, for sure. And like as far as, if I was a person who was unsure of, how to get a bid number, any of those things, is it something I can do 5 minutes before the sale, or do I need to give myself a bit of time?
Yeah, so preferably you want to give yourself 48 hours to go on and log on and create yourself an account on AuctionsPlus. That's the general way they do it when you're trying to buy livestock off there. But if you get onto the sale at 9 o'clock on the Sunday and it's not working for you and things are not going well, you want to be in contact with Nutrien. You want to talk straight to Darby Smith or Mark Barton and just say, listen, I want to buy this particular lot. I want to be at this much. Can I be on the phone to you? And just like a normal auction, he will handle it. Darby will handle it. They do it every day of the week. They're the best at it. So if you're having trouble setting up your own AuctionsPlus login and getting on there and create an account, don't panic. Get on the phone, ring Darby or Mark Barton, and they will handle it for you. No one else knows your business. It's all through them.
Yeah. All right. And like if I haven't seen the sale catalogue yet, or I'm looking to find a bit more information about a horse, where can I go to see all of those lots and, check out those videos and things so I can see the horses before I potentially bid on one.
Yeah, so most people will know that we've got the Swan Cup sale preview page on Facebook, and Kylie and yourself upload all the horses that have photos and videos. They're all on that page. But also, if you go to the Nutrien Equine website and look up the Swan Cup, there is photos and videos of all the horses on there. Then also, right now, you can go onto AuctionsPlus and look up the catalogue. You can view the catalogue right now, and you can see those lots. And it's up to the vendors to keep uploading more material, getting it out there. I just see tonight that Luke Sewell's put out the horse he's putting through for Dartbrook. I think it's Dartbrook Alina. And like, he's put up a new video and he's got more photos, and he's given everyone the best opportunity to see that horse because we are now having a pre-work and it isn't going through the live ring. So a lot more responsibility on the vendors this time to be proactive and get a lot more photos and videos out there and as much information, and go from there.
Right. And what's, going forward beyond the sale, what's the plan for competitions in 2022?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of phone calls and a lot of advice and a lot of people asking us questions about, well, why don't you just run the men's comp at another date? Why don't you postpone it and run it in conjunction with a carnival somewhere, or run it and change it and do this and do that? Purely, it come down to the club just couldn't do it. And I couldn't jump enough hurdles to make, well, we had to jump too many hurdles to get our own event off the ground without changing it and going somewhere else in the current climate. And that's also weather, but the COVID's always in the background. And there's a lot of horses that have been in work for a long time. And if we would have it at the end of the year, I don't know if that's a good time to have it, whether we get the same amount of teams or what. But as far as the Swan Cup and the Inverell Polocrosse Club are, the 2021 men's open men's competition is off. We'll refund each team their money. They'll get their money back. Now the open men's comp is off for 2021. So for them to play in the 2022 open men's comp, the eligibility rules start now with this sale. If you don't buying or selling and getting yourself a slot, you're not playing next year. So we've got a lot of apologies to go out to people who have bought shirts and bought saddlecloths and spent money to be organised for this year. I can only say that we've done the same. It's cost us a bit of money, and we've spent a lot of time and effort to get it going. And there's no one more disappointed than us that it's not running. But to be fair on everyone, to fit into the Polocrosse calendar, to fit into the Nutrien calendar when they have all their sales, to follow the stock horse guidelines, to fit everything to make it work, that we all had to go through. All it is that the open men's competition and the Swan Cup incentive will be run at the same time in July next year.
Yeah, and those dates are already on the Polocrosse calendar at the minute for next year, so we're all ready to go. It'll be the same weekend next year, the last weekend of the school holidays in July, and running off the back of Narrabri's junior competition over there. So
yeah, and with that, mate, like we're going to be running 2 comps next year.
Yep.
So we may start earlier. We may have to start on a Thursday and get through the program and do different things. But look, it all depends on how good the sale goes and how many people want to be a part of the following year.
Yeah, for sure. And how can I play in the 2022 Swan Cup Polocrosse competition? So not the open men's competition, the Swan Cup. So that incentive competition that'll have a lower points cap. It's open to men and women as long as they're over the age of 17. How do I get a spot in one of those teams? What have I got to do?
Right. So the minimum requirement that we ask is that there's 2 horses purchased out of the 2021 sale. there's 2 horses per team. So we have made this year, the 2021 sale, every horse gets lifetime eligibility, which is great. So they're eligible to stay in the Swan Cup system as long as they don't transfer the purchaser. So to play next year in the 2022 Swan Cup incentive competition, you need to buy a horse or get someone to buy you a horse and put you on it, man or woman, and over 17 and over. And then what we've done is we've reduced the points to 36 points for 6 players. So we didn't want the top 6 men in the country all buying horses and winning both competitions. And we wanted to make it that men and women could play together. We wanted to make it that, yep, if you wanted to go and get Jimmy Grills and he buys a horse and he plays with you and he's on 10 points, that means you've got to fit 5 other players into 26 points. And it just, you'd have 2 horses minimum. The 4 other horses that play with you have to be registered, and you've got to stay under your points cap, and that's the requirements.
Yep. So in 2022, 2 competitions. We've got the men's competition, which is an open event. Horses don't have to be purchased out of the sale. And then we've got our Swan Cup incentive, where 2 horses have to be purchased out of the sale, lower points cap of 36 points for 6 players. And you've got to have 2 sale horses from 2021 sale in your team.
That's it, mate. And they don't have to play any particular position. They've just got to be in your team. And you can find 4 other players that are registered to a club, members and financial, that haven't bought a horse, but their horse is registered as an Australian stock horse, and you can fit your team under 36 points. That's what we want to come and play in the incentive. And then going forward, I would suggest that in 2023 that you're probably going to need a minimum of 4 horses, just as a thought.
Yeah. And just one more thing with that incentive competition, the remaining 4 horses in your team, is there any requirements for those 4 horses?
As long as they're Australian stock horse registered.
Yep. So
that's all they have to be.
Righto. So you've got to prove that they're a registered stock horse to be in that Swan Cup incentive competition.
That's right.
All right. I might just do a quick recap before we go, Cameron. So in 2021, we're holding an online sale. We've had to cancel the face-to-face competition and sale. So we're doing an online sale. It's going to be held via AuctionsPlus on Sunday, the 11th of July at 9 a.m. If you need to access the catalogue, you can access it via AuctionsPlus, or you can access it via the Nutrien Equine website. The competitions held in 2022 will be the 2 incentive competitions. It'll be the Open Men's competition and the Swan Cup competition. And how do you play in the 2022 Open Men's competition? Well, you've either got to sell or buy a horse in the 2021 Swan Cup sale. And how can you play in the Swan Cup 2022 Polocrosse competition? You have to have at least 2 horses. It's open to men and women as long as they're over the age of 17. And you have to, the other 4 horses that you have in your team have to be registered Australian stock horses. And that's about it, I think, Cameron. I think the main thing is too, we're just, as a club, we're absolutely, devastated. It was probably one of the hardest decisions as a club we've had to make ever, to sit there and all the work and all the people who have done things, all the money we've spent to getting to this stage. And it's just absolutely devastating to call it off. And, on Friday, you and I probably had about 20 phone calls back and forth to each other, coming up with reasons how we can and how we can't make it happen. And it was just a massive blow to both of us, and we just devastated we can't continue with it.
For sure, mate. And look, things go on. At the end of the day, it's a polocrosse competition, and it's what we do for fun. It's not a job. So, yeah, it's not a good thing that we had to call it off. But going forward, mate, I think we're better off to have a good reputation and putting up a good event than running an event that we could have done a lot more harm than damage with.
Yeah, that's for sure. So just a quick reminder before we go, our online sale will run via AuctionsPlus on Sunday, the 11th of July at 9 a.m. and we'll run for about an hour. But depending how the bids are going, it can extend a bit longer if there's extra bids going on. And we look forward to discussing the details of the sale, and we hope you get on board. Thanks everyone for joining us for our Swan Cup podcast. Thanks, Cameron.
See you, mate.
See ya.
So I can have a chop at you at the Inverell Swan Cup.